Hi there, my name is DJ. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm building bag 15 of LEGO 76457 Hogsmeade Village. If you're interested, I have a playlist on my channel with all of the previous bags in this series. Starting in on bag 15, what we see here is what we've built from the previous bag so far. No minifig in this bag, so let's start in with the building. And we've got this little sloped guy and a 1x3 behind it, which makes for a pretty quick 99. And then so with 100, we've got this odd looking piece that I've never seen one of these before, but it's going to be part of step 100. But before we get there, let's try not to have all our pieces roll off the table. Okay, so we've got this little fellow going in there, and then on top of that is this long noodly bit, and then on the bottom of it is going in the opposite direction. Should be this little one, and then into that goes this gray piece, and then all of that gets fed into here, and then on the other side of it is this little 1x2, and then that goes, got the building turned around before we can place it in. Let's see, and then, so now this whole odd structure gets put in, well, I put it together wrong. I was gonna say it didn't fit quite right, but I had the piece upside down when I put the pieces together, so I got it into the wrong one of these 3 holes on the side. But fixing that, let's see if it fits now. Goes together with it connecting up on the wall there, and then I assume that's gonna be something at some point, but at this moment I don't know what that is. Let's see what we got here. We are starting out with one of these 1x5s, and then another one of these guys, and then there's a peg going in there. See if I can get that. There we go. And then going on to that, starting out with these little studs with a handle on it, and that's the yellow clear piece on top of there, and then a orange one on top of that, and there's a black little pyramid shaped piece that I'm looking for. Here we go. Goes on top of there. And then the whole thing gets fed into that gray peg. And then we have this little modified 1x2 next to it. And then all of that goes up onto the side over there. And looks like we're doing a cell door here. Let's see, putting the door together. And then there should be a little piece with a lock printed on it. It goes on there. And one of these modified 1x2s. Then some brickwork on top of that. And then that, let's see, make sure we get the door swinging the right way. Goes up on top of there. And then looks like we got some more snow detailing that's going to be up on top of the door. Let's see, a little icicle and this little sloped bit and this clump of snow, and then all of that gets turned around and put on top of the door like that. And moving along, we've got, let's see, it's going to be this sloped bit here, and then this 1x2 behind it, and then some more brickwork next to that. And then I've got this 1x4 on top of there. And another one of these on top of that. And looks like we're going to be making a chandelier out of this steering wheel looking piece. That this little round guy going on top of there. And then let's see, we're making 4 little lanterns, I think, out of this stud with a clip on the bottom, and then a brass cap on top, and that will get clicked onto the wheel like so. And then we're going to do that 3 more times. So we take our clip and the lantern and the cap, and then clip it on and take a clip and the lantern and the cap, and one more time, take the clip and the lantern and the cap. Last one. Put that on there. And then we've got this odd little guy, and put a peg in there. And that will go into the lantern. And now we're going to start building the top of what's gonna that the chandelier is going to be hanging from, with this 1x2 plate, and then 2x2 on top of that, and then this plate with the hole for the peg in it, and then this little plate goes on there, and the other side of the 90-degree joint that's candelabra is gonna hang from, or chandelier, not a candelabra, sorry. And then that is gonna get put on top of that there, and then turn, and we connect those two together, and then rotate it like so, and then it gets put onto the wall of the building so that our chandelier is hanging above the pub patrons. And then we start building up another chunk of wall here. All that goes together, and then this 1x3 on top, and then that gets placed on top there, and we've got one more slope next to it, and let's see, building another chunk of wall here. Like so, and then that one goes, let's see, I believe like so, and then that is gonna go up on top of here, and then let's see, I think we're building maybe the roof over the top of the chandelier. That goes together like so, and we've got some of these rounded 1x3s. And then going for this forest green kind of shade on top of there. Then we've got this big kind of flat piece on top of that. And then Got this stud on the side, brick there, and then a 1x1 next to it. And open our page. Let's see. I've got this 1x4 and a little plate going on top of it. And then we have some of these kind of rounded pieces there. And then another plate. And that goes up on there. And let's see, we've got that plate and a 1x2 plate on either side next to it. And putting that down for a sec, we're going to be building 2 of these where we take a plate and some of these green rounded bits here, and they are going to form arms of the chair, I believe. So it looks like it's a big comfy chair that's going to be in the building, which is always nice. I love a big comfy chair myself. Okay, we got all that together, and then we have this black plate that is going to get a sticker 22, which looks like it's a portrait. So let's try to put that on there. Oh boy, I really got that one off. And oof, boy, my sticker game is not on today. But got that. And then this big blue piece in front of it for a rug, maybe. And then let's see, what are we doing? Taking this gray little box and putting a grate in front of it, and that goes on there. And then we've got this orangish brown rounded bit with this peg in it, and that goes next to there. And then that is all gonna get put onto here. That's what it looks like from the book. That, get that clipped down nice. And there we go. That's a cozy little domestic scene up on top of the building. And that is it for bag 15. Thank you for watching. I hope you're all having a good day. Please remember to do all the YouTube things, like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next one.